Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you about One Piece chapter 835, The Nation of Souls. So peeps, we're going to do it top moment style because top moments helps me organize the video a bit, and because really, there was one moment in this chapter which justified me going through and making notes, and it's a special chapter for that reason. It was a standout moment and I need to talk about it. So let's just do it top moment style. We'll go through the video. I'll put out my moments that I think are important in this chapter and then overall impressions at the end. Anyway, let's get down into it. Let's begin with the color page. I actually thought it was kind of fun to see Robin with an ice cream headache. I thought that was a nice little touch. Okay, so this chapter opened up with a ritual. So this is effectively the first moment that I think is really important. It was a really good setup, and I very much like that it was clarified within the chapter. This could have just been something that's set up right now and left for readers to speculate, but this is one of those things that we really don't need to speculate on. So it's nice that they set it up at the beginning of the chapter and that it was answered towards the end. Pretty cool. The next moment I very much enjoyed was Nami mixed up with the fakes. Now, last week I do recall saying that this was probably some kind of reflection ability based off of what we saw, and it turns out it is. It's reflections being casted upon the animals of the forest, and that's really interesting, and I'm going to talk about this more I guess when we get into Brûlé. Anyway, next top moment I enjoyed was Nami climaxing out of Brûlé's grasp. Okay, that's just a really good moment because heck, it shows that Nami isn't just going to be a damsel in distress. It shows that Nami is capable of something, and her flip out of it, you know, good moment for Nami. I think the girls had really good moments in this chapter overall, even with Brûlé. The next moment I really enjoyed is going on with that, with Carrot jumping into Brûlé and attacking her. So Carrot is just showing off that she is very much an action girl. Like, Carrot's involvement in all these chapters has been great. She's a go-getter. She just jumps into the fight. She's very agile, and I like seeing these little moments because I do think this is going to pay off later. She's having these feats established now, because then later if we see her in a full-on fight, it's gonna be a fun one for sure, because she can go everywhere. Like, I love seeing whenever she takes initiative in a fight. The next moment I very much enjoyed was seeing Brûlé's power in a more kind of dynamic action. We see her totally countering Carrot, and we see that the mirror fruit really is a wide spectrum ability fruit. Like, there's a lot of things that it can do based on the concept of a reflection. And I think that is super interesting. And going on with that, the next interesting or top moment for this chapter was seeing her use Mirror World. And that's a very interesting capture technique. Okay, so with that, we have pretty much all the little details about the reflection fruit. And we can pretty much see that she can cast reflections on other people. She can reflect certain things back at the person. She can kind of capture a person based on the reflection. So if she's reflected as Luffy, if she does something as a reflection, Luffy has to do something as the reflection, like the laws of a reflection. So that's also a very interesting way to use that power. Now we know that she can also capture things in Mirror World. So that's another very interesting capture technique, and most likely Chopper was captured by that technique. Although I imagine for it to work, she'd have to like completely swallow him whole into the mirror, or he'd have to fall into it, which could happen depending on if Chopper hit the time limit or not. So overall, the reflection fruit, I very much love Brûlé's mastery of it. It does seem like a very powerful fruit, and it seems that she knows how to use it. Heck, the casting of reflections onto animals is very, that's very interesting. That's like completely taking out what could have initially been a reflection fruit and really just expressing the creativity of it. And it goes back to what Oda said about devil fruit users. It's not so much that the fruit itself gets powerful, it's rather the users get more creative. Anyway, moving on. Enough about Brûlé. I will say one last thing actually. I think that the fruit's restriction is that, like, if they are going to cast a reflection upon an animal, the person that's being reflected onto the animal had to have been in the mirror first. Like, it had to have been reflected in the mirror first. That's the only way it's going to work. So say we get Zoro, there's not going to be a Zoro reflection because Brûlé has never actually had the mirror casted on Zoro. Like, Zoro's never been reflected in the mirror. I think that's how it would work. And she kind of talks about that when she's describing the fruit, saying whatever light hits the mirror. Anyway, moving on. Brule talking about Big Mom being aware of everyone actually coming into her territory. And this is an important moment because, yeah, it's just a long spiel, but it's important because it does show that some of the children of Big Mom are loyal to Big Mom. Like, they're not like Pudding's generation and Praline. They're not gonna just turn tail on Big Mom. So this is a very important thing because now it does show that it's not all black and white, that some children are horribly loyal to Big Mom, and that's going to be a problem moving forward in the future. And next is the moment that really just made this chapter for me, because it's such an important moment, because it just shows how cocky some of our characters have been getting. So it's when Chopper says, "It just dawned on me that, you know, they're in Big Mom's territory, that they've grossly underestimated Big Mom." Like, yeah, of course, obviously. Look, it's not as simple as having a situation where saying, "Oh no, you know, Pudding probably sold out the Straw Hats." No, man. Like, did you see? Even in the Pudding situation, there was that Jello thing with her. That Jello thing was present with her when she was with Big Mom, like way back when. It was way more likely to think, oh yeah, maybe the Jello thing would have some loyalty to Big Mom because, I don't know, Big Mom gave it life. So it becomes this issue of there's more. We can't underestimate one of the 4 emperors. We just can't. It's just not done. It's not smart. And these guys did underestimate it. They thought they could just sneak in there and everything would be okay. But Big Mom has shown that she prides herself on information gathering. It's not that incredible to see that Big Mom would know that they were there. So Brule just laying it all out, that they all had orders. That was whatever. What was important was just Chopper realizing, like, shit, we screwed up bad. Okay, so after the Chopper moment, it's kind of a bit more of a calm down, and we get the moment where the man in the hole, his status is in question. Like, is he one of them? No one's really touching him, and he, as he just says, people don't care. So the man was a very interesting aspect of the forest, really helped make it feel weirder than it was. And I think the way he's being used now, I think it's an alright payoff. He was just there, and he does kind of go on with the idea that no one really cares about him, and he's got that feeling conveyed to the readers, so that I respect that. I very much respect that. Anyway, the next top moment is knowing that Chopper put up a fight when the giant man was talking about Chopper. It was really interesting to see that Chopper I felt really bad for Chopper because he's being attacked by hundreds of trees most likely, and he's just doing his best to buy Nami some time. You gotta respect the little guy. Next top moment I enjoyed was the clarification on the ritual in the beginning of the chapter and the soul fruit. So we've kind of already saw that Big Mom was messing with people's lifespans, but now we got the clarification that it's the soul fruit. It's messing with people's souls, and since it's a soul, that makes more sense as to why objects gain human sentience. So that's pretty cool. What's interesting though is that they made the distinction that the soul cannot revive dead bodies, and that's good because that establishes the difference between her and Brooke. Because now we have to wonder what's going to happen if she tries to pull out Brooke's soul. That'd be a very interesting power interaction, because Brooke in particular has very good control of his soul, so he could very much escape Big Mom and go back to his body. But now it also means that Big Mom can actually touch Brooke's soul if he's going in stealth mode, because her ability is about touching souls. Another character who, this is just on the side, I would love to have seen interacting with Big Mom's power is Perona, because Perona also has some degree of control over her consciousness or her soul. So it'd be very interesting to see how her power would work in regards to Big Mom's. But right now, we might be having a nice setup moment with Brooke, in particular if he goes stealth mode and Big Mom sees him and is able to actually touch his soul like that. It'd be a very interesting moment to just see how those powers would work out. A next little small moment I really enjoyed was the confirmation that the rabbit that Carrot was fighting was in fact a normal rabbit, and that the crocodile was a normal crocodile until they were turned into sentient animals. Pretty cool. And then the last 2 moments of the chapter was seeing that the giant head, or knowing that the giant head was one of Big Mom's husband and he's the father of Lola and Chiffon. Really good, because that establishes the connection between him and Nami, and now we're going to be going forward with the knowledge that Lola's mom is Big Mom. We have no idea how that's going to work. If Big Mom has an information network as extensive as she does, to the point that she knows about Sanji's time with the Kamabaka Kingdom, then I want to assume she knows that Lola is friends with, I don't know, with Nami. Unless, when they were in the Florian Triangle, because of the dense fog that covers that area, that whatever means she was using to gather information, maybe it was a bit more difficult. Because I am still on the boat that Big Mom might have some kind of oracle going on. She might have some kind of person who is able to look far away and able to find out information, like remote viewing. So it'd be interesting to see how exactly does Big Mom not know about Nami's involvement with Lola, if they had enough ability to find out about Sanji's involvement with the Kamabaka Kingdom. And finally, the last top moment that I thought was important is just the introduction to Cracker. And it's interesting because he does show again that he is loyal to Big Mom. So very interesting stuff. It's kind of interesting to see the character there and pulling out the giant, who we find out isn't actually a giant. It's just one of those disproportionate One Piece characters. So overall, the chapter, I am going to say it's a satisfying chapter for sure. I very much like it. I really like it, actually. Mostly because Chopper had that idea to say, oh my god, yeah, we screwed up. We're going to get boned. Like, this is a problem. So very good moment with Chopper. And Chopper really pretty much made the chapter for me. It was good to see the clarification on what's going on in the kingdom and the darkness of the kingdom, Dressrosa style. I will say though, the chapter did have a lot of dialogue, and I felt specifically a lot of useless dialogue, just because it was, a portion of it was like recapping what happened to Nami, a portion of it was trying to negotiate with the giant, a portion of it was just over explanations and just over interactions, which is fine because it does help the characters. But in regards to the giant in particular, the giant has to be around for a substantial amount of chapters later on to make these little moments with him now feel worthwhile. And right now the giant does not feel that worthwhile. But anyway, peeps, my overall impressions for this chapter, I really like it. It was really that one moment that really made it for me. I think it was an okay interaction chapter. Right now we got a bit of a setup. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happened to Chopper and Carrot later on. Most likely Chopper got captured, but there was the interesting element of the trees stopping and not chasing Nami. But the trees are still present in that scene. Like, they're still watching Luffy and the rest. So, man, they're gonna keep talking. Like, if they're all there just watching, it's like, okay, well, they're doing this. Oh, they're planning to do this. Okay, hey, Flowers, can you go over there and tell Big Mom? Okay, cool, we got that. Right? That's what's gonna end up happening. They have to kill the trees, man. Like, come on. This is a problem. They're having strategy sessions while the trees are still watching. No wonder Big Mom knows everything about these kids. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it from me. This is a pretty tough situation in One Piece. How are they going to get over the information network? But yeah, I think I'll end it there. Till next time, peeps. Have a good day.